lets it fly. There's the record for Peyton Manning.
I'm meteorologist Mike Cameron in the Early Warning Weather Center. Just a quick update on the snow situation we have ongoing this afternoon. We're going to take a look with our iCam over New Milford and show you that we do have the snow ongoing here. And we're going to show you that it has been covering the ground in far western Connecticut. So if you're watching us in Greater Hartford or East and you're thinking, where is it? Well, it's starting to fall across the westernmost part of our state, as you can see there with our iCam. Here's the latest view with the Early Warning Pinpoint Doppler, where the snow is reaching the ground is anywhere south and west of Waterbury. And some of the snow has been fairly intense. In fact, over the last hour, we can give you an estimate that in some places, especially just southwest of Danbury, we've already had 1/4 of an inch of snow fall on the ground and is sticking and probably making roadways a little bit treacherous already. As we broaden things back out and just give you an idea of what's going to happen over the next hour or so, we'll give you a future scan on this and just show you over time how this is going to envelop the whole state. And as we get in towards about 2:30 or so, Hartford, the snow should start to break out, and very quickly roads are going to get treacherous. So this view is within the next half hour to 45 minutes from now. That's when most of the state should be covered with snow. We'll have another update coming up in about an hour.
Billy, these are two completely different teams, both teams in dire need of a win, trying to build a resume for the potential postseason run.
The burden gets earlier every year. Everybody talking about important wins. This early in the season, it's all about the RPI and the NCAA implications.
And for UConn, the headline this week, the physical status of their leading scorer, Ryan Boatwright, a thigh injury in a loss to Temple on Wednesday. Boatwright suffered the injury late in the first half, tried to play in the second half, couldn't do it, worked out before the game, and it appears he's good to go, Bill.
Well, last year was Shabazz Napier leading this club. This kid has great talent, no question. He's the catalyst. He's creative. He sometimes attacks the rim with reckless abandon, but he can also find people.
Well, for both teams, offensively challenge has been one way to describe it. For Florida, no doubt, producing points has been a huge issue. Michael Frazier II, that's the player they lean on most.
And they've been prolific over the years with their ability to score. This is the one guy that's been consistent for them. They got to find him, but he's also got to have others step up and help him.
And that leads to our AT&T fast analysis for UConn and Florida.
We know what Boatwright can do. He's very talented getting into the lane, but what will others do? This is a promising performer. Daniel Hamilton, a little kiss bird early in the day. And Rodney Purvis, he loves to get to the rim and also finish strong. They counter that with the ability over the years to find people. Billy Donovan's teams have been very unselfish. They spread the floor. They find one another. Finishing at the rim is not a problem. It's what they do outside, but they're good inside.
We ring in the new year from the O'Connell Center. UConn and Florida starting lineups at opening tip. College basketball on CBS. CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Microsoft Surface. And by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
We're underway, and Wilbekin off the glass. What a move. Napier. Here's Daniels. And he's done it again. Spectacular performance by the Huskies. On to the championship game.
UConn with that win over Florida in the Final Four, advanced to the championship game and knocked off Kentucky for the national title. Two men who have been to the mountaintop. Kevin Ollie, national championship for the Huskies, and Billy Donovan, two-time national champion for the Florida Gators. Time now for Microsoft Surface, taking us first on the court. And for UConn, it's Purvis and Boatwright in the backcourt. Up front, Hamilton, Grima, and Facey for the Huskies, who enter action at 6-5. Florida coming off a gut-wrenching loss to Florida State. Hill, Gioza, Frazier, three-guard alignment with Finney Smith and Walker getting the starts up front. 9th different starting lineup for Florida. 10 players have started at least one game for the Gators.
What does that suggest to you?
Suggests that they're still searching a bit, Billy.
Yeah, you know, the beginning of this game, I think for both teams, it's essential to get good shots and obviously convert, just to get your legs and your head into the game. Both coaches allude to the fact that mentally they've got to capture the moment.
And give credit to trainer James Dorn for UConn and strength and conditioning coach Travis Ilian for getting Boatwright ready for the action here with that thigh injury. Florida and UConn were underway. Ball knocked out of bounds. Officials will come together here. Ron Groover, Don Daly, and Michael Roberts. Florida will have the basketball.
Great coordination of the officials, by the way, out of the gate. And right now, Ian Eagle, what a pleasure to be with you, Bird. We'll watch UConn go.
And it is the first Minuteman of 2015.
Welcome aboard. A lot of movement, a lot of ball screens. You got to defend well and show yourself on these screens.
On the outside, they spread it. Frazier gets a touch on the perimeter. Shot clock at 15. Florida comes in averaging 67.6 points per game. Ball fake, Finney-Smith. 8 to shoot. Hill gives it up. Finney-Smith steps into the jumper and drains it. It's a 3 to open play.
Wow, is that important for confidence? 38% shooter from 3, and right away to pressure, Bird.
UConn handles it as they get it across to Hamilton. Missed some key free throws late in that loss to Temple. 57-53 in overtime on Wednesday.
Bird, very important how you guard Boatwright, because he gets into cracks. You've got a gap D and help on him. He's extraordinary as they get to 10.
Shot clock is down to 8. The fans trying to throw them off with a bad count. Hamilton a jumper. Rimming no, and it's tracked down by Finney-Smith for Florida. Up the floor in a hurry. Hill. Oh, off the window. It goes, and a foul.
Boy, he can really get down the floor. Very good, getting better at finishing. I've seen him use the left-hand hook as well. But the quick push by Finney-Smith, and this is just great ability to finish with the bigs. Tough little goal by the little guy.
The sophomore, Casey Hill. Most comfortable in that up-tempo style when he can get out and create. Off the rim on the free throw, shooting 71%. A 5-0 lead for Florida.
UConn runs a lot of sets. Kevin Ollie picked up a lot of things over his years in the NBA. Here's their double screen, a lot of pin downs, curls. And Jim Calhoun played. They got an offensive foul on facing.
UConn turns it over. Billy Donovan now in his 19th year as the head coach at Florida. What a run it's been. Kevin Ollie, you mentioned the NBA experience. 13 years as a player in the NBA.
11 teams, and they all liked it.
Well, that's the thing. That means you're doing something right.
Well, your coaches loved having them around, and players did too. Great leadership qualities exhibited last year. Look at his team going right now. Drive and replace.
Travel called on Finney-Smith. Bit indecisive on the perimeter. So Florida turns it over. We mentioned the scoring woes for Florida. Similar for UConn. They're averaging 68 points per game. This is the first true road game of the season for the Huskies. And the first time they've ever visited Gainesville. Timeout call.
Pressure.
Sluggish start for the defending national champions. Florida out to a 5-0 lead. Florida leading at 5-0 over UConn. Florida 65-63 loss at Florida State on Tuesday night. A fluke play at the end of the game with Jacob Kurtz accidentally tipping the ball into his own basket to give the Seminoles the win. UConn trying to handle the Florida pressure.
We'll talk about that play later because we both spoke to John Adams. Interesting end of game scenario that could have happened. But interesting, on the timeout, Boatwright had taken it out. They went big with Hamilton so he could see over the top of the pressure.
John Adams, head of officiating for the NCAA. 10 to shoot. They can't even get a clean look here.
No, you got to get Hamilton involved too.
Boatwright against Chiozza. Boatwright. The launch, it rims out, and it's rebounded by Walker. Billy Donovan just looking for something out of Walker. He says sustaining energy has been the challenge. Finney-Smith comes off the rim, and rebound taken by Brima.
He can do that and block shots, but just like our open, that drive, draw, and find somebody by Florida. Good, clean look, and that's the dilemma, not making those. He can drive.
The floater doesn't go for Purvis. The transfer from NC State averaging 9.6 points per game, and UConn still looking to get on the board.
Nice double stagger there.
Hill directing traffic. He's got a screen from Walker. Chiozza, the freshman.
Frazier's got a loose, nice cut here by Smith.
Rejected. It's Brima. Boatwright up the floor. Purvis drives in. Tough angle. Slam down. Facey on the follow.
He can run, and he is a terrific offensive rebounder. Going to get better and stronger. Ian Hamilton, the future of UConn.
5-2 lead for Florida. Kenton Facey, the sophomore, originally from Jamaica, played high school ball out on Long Island. Finney Smith misses from the outside. He made a three to start the scoring here. Connecticut is 1 of 5. Florida's 2 out of 5.
Now, this is where they're tough in the early. Nice little Brima screen. Gives them a good look. Boatwright.
Boatwright misses from the outside. Saved by Brima. Pull up pop. Purvis. That won't go.
Both struggling with good looks.
UConn shot 39% in the lost attempt. Open look. Frazier can't hit it. And it's rebounded by Facey.
Well, you can't draw them up any better on either end the last few trips.
UConn faced a tough non-conference schedule. Losses to West Virginia, Texas, Yale, which was a shocker, Duke, and then Temple in conference in their opener.
Well, this kid's good off the bounce.
Hamilton.
Pretty.
Smooth strong. Daniel Hamilton is the freshman from Los Angeles. His brother Jordan played at Texas, and then in the NBA with Denver and Houston. Work the perimeter. 5-4 lead for Florida. Hill off the dribble. He's fouled by Purvis.
Boy, why foul? I mean, they're struggling from the field. Oh, pretty good jeans by Hamilton.
Start of the new year here in Gainesville. 5-4 Florida on top of UConn. We'll return more college hoops action on CBS. They have been two of the premier programs in college basketball over the last decade and change. Between the two teams, they've won 5 of the last 11 NCAA championships, Billy.
It's utterly incredible. You think back to Florida, Norm Sloan got it going, Lon Kruger got it going, but Billy really took it to another level. And, of course, Jim Calhoun, who was his coach, set the table. And certainly Kevin Ollie and that staff. What a bunch of great guards he has on the bench. That was Carl Hobbs, Glenn Miller, Ricky Moore, who won here for Jimmy in St. Petersburg. Pretty good staff.
Casey Hill is at the free throw line. Florida has made some changes as Eli Carter, the Rutgers transfer, has checked in along with Murphy and Horford. Monday, these geniuses can solve any problem, but they can't do it without each other. Don't miss the first new Scorpion of the year, Monday at 9, 8 Central, only CBS.
And they're looking for Carter to ring the bell like he did in his Rutgers day. He's been nicked up, both legs, both feet. It's been a problem. Here's that 2-2-1. Murph on the floor, very good defensive player too, particularly in that post D. They got the nickel dimer. They reach in. Somebody's got to post up. This necessitates giving the ball up. Against this kind of a pressure, somebody's got to post, give it up, and turn an attack.
How about Boatwright's movement so far?
You know, he hasn't been dynamic like we've seen him. Maybe just sort of easing himself in, loosening up.
Philip Nolan in, Terrence Samuel in, and Omar Calhoun in for UConn.
Nolan, lefty around the rim. He likes that little jump hook if he gets it.
Nolan turns, doesn't get the roll, and a foul call. So Nolan with a strong move on the interior. John Horford, the Michigan transfer, graduate student, brother, of course, a star here at Florida, won 2 national championships. Al Horford, now an all-star with the Atlanta Hawks.
I told Horford, you know, you've been around so long, you're almost as old as me.
It seems that way.
Yeah, he's really a kid. Great success at Michigan, too. Good defender. He can step out and make shots. Just hasn't looked for that 15-footer and 3.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Boatwright trying to shake off Horford in the corner.
He likes to refuse that ball screen.
Samuel puts it on the deck. The bounce inside. The twirl. And it's Nolan finishing around the rim.
Yeah, they got there a little bit late. Here's a turnover. No. Yep. Inbounds pass. Disrupted by Boatwright.
So Murphy trying to trigger in. UConn will take over on the giveaway. Tied at 6, UConn and Florida, 14:27 mark of this first half. Connecticut's points have all come in the paint.
Boatwright is so tough to guard because he's got great balance when he moves the shoulder and the feet. A little fade screen for him.
On a skip pass for Boatwright, Aurora, Illinois native. Two-man game there with Nolan.
He was pretty good there. Didn't turn the corner, but with a good motion.
Over 1,000 career points in his Huskies career. 10 to shoot. Off the hands of Nolan and a turnover.
Tough pass, and he gives it away. Nolan with the foul.
Nolan picks it up. And we'll get a change here. Jacob Kurtz, the walk-on, the former team manager in his freshman year, gets a response from this crowd, which is a great sign considering what happened at the end of that Florida State game. We just felt so bad for the kid.
Absolutely. And in talking to Billy yesterday, he was just saying we've all missed free throws. We've all made mistakes. And he was hustling. And John Adams saying to us, if that ball had not gone through the net with 0-0, it would not have counted.
Yeah, because it's not an official try.
Right.
It was off a rebound deflection. Kurtz on the outside. Jumper doesn't go for Carter. Then it happened the next night in the NBA. Omer Ashik of New Orleans tipped it in against San Antonio into his own basket. So even the pros can have problems.
And God bless you, by the way.
Thanks. Because I'm tight.
I thought that was a sneeze. You mentioned his name.
Boatwright using the Nolan screen. The jumper doesn't go. Boatwright having a tough time.
Both teams really struggling.
Moving up the floor in a hurry. Hill, the shake and bake. Hooks a pass inside. And a foul called on the pass-off. So Kurtz will not get credit for it. All right, let's take you back. Florida State and Florida Tuesday night. Bizarre ending. Devin Booker's buzzer-beating attempt falls short, but it's Kurtz who knocks it through, accidentally tipping it home to give Florida State the 65-63 win.
And this kid works hard. A kid that was a manager at one point in his career. Very dedicated, very impressive. His enthusiasm, his energy.
2 fouls on Nolan, so he's back on the bench, replaced by Grimer.
Nolan likes to pick up the charge, leads them in charges. And one of those big guys, when he blocking a shot, would be more effective.
It's a bomb from Carter. It doesn't go, and we are stuck at 6-6.
He loves going right. Hamilton turns it over.
3-on-2 developing. Carter, the penetration and kick. Chiozza fires. He's got it. A 3.
Boy, that is a pretty basket created by Carter's penetration in the find. Stepping in on a platter. Both clubs have had good looks.
Eli Carter, a mid-foot sprain. He was a question mark as to whether or not he would play here today. To the hoop, nicely done by Terrence Samuel, the heady sophomore.
Samuel made a great play to tie that game against Temple. The pass outlet to Curtis for the finish to get into overtime. Can play that combo position or back up right at the point.
Going against the zone, Chiozza. Zone buster. It's a triple.
How about that? What a welcome sight for the Gators. Ringing a bell from deep.
From Memphis, Tennessee, White Station High School. 6 points for Chiozza, getting the start here today for Florida.
Hamilton with a great mismatch. If he takes advantage, now they switch it back. Carter's on him. He can elevate and get a shot.
They double Samuel, now back off. Calhoun, pump fake, that's for 2. Book it.
Carl Hobbs said this kid, he's one of the assistants for UConn. Calhoun makes them in practice now, converting during the game. Key for them.
Had a
essential.
Freshman year was excellent. Struggled his sophomore year. There's the Horford jump shot you alluded to.
That's what he can do. He can spread it a little bit. And John Beilein had him pop out. Very effective in that area.
Horford does the little things for this Florida team. They may need him to do a bit more scoring.
They do. The inside points very essential. Helps the others.
Gators up by 4, under 11 minutes to play in this first half. Calhoun, 2-man game with Samuel. Tried to float it upstairs for Brima through his hands. Open look, Hamilton. He buries it, a 3.
And Boatwright, really a quick into the shooting puck delivery. Solid pass.
5 points for the freshman. 14-13 Florida.
There's some points now, Bird.
Picking up the pace.
Yeah.
Eli Carter.
2-3 again.
Devin Robinson, the long first-year player out of Chesterfield, Virginia. It goes! Counted and a foul.
You talked about his length to Billy Donovan. He was smiling. He got a little blessing, a little kiss. Length and delivery, a pretty good combo. Bright future for this guy. The ball screen no one shows. Kiss it home in Gainesville.
Tomorrow, the run Fawnin Rebels of UNLV tangle with the Kansas Jayhawks. College hoops action right here on the road to the Final Four. CBS Sports. So as Billy Donovan is looking for his group to develop a bit of chemistry, Devin Robinson is one of those players. The freshman, skinny frame. He's 6'8", 178 pounds, but has a high ceiling, inside, outside skills.
Why are you knocking the skinny frame?
No.
You're not built like a middle linebacker yourself.
I'm impressed by it.
No, you're right, though. They expect a lot from him. A very talented kid, highly regarded. He played well against Kansas, which is a high-level effort by him that night.
Billy, Florida had a stretch of 6 consecutive missed shots. Now the Gators have made their last 4. They're up to 50% shooting, 16 fouls against UConn.
It's amazing. If I had that big a drought when I was looking for a beverage, they have a problem all year long. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, Carolina, somebody told me 10 minutes without a field goal.
There's Samuel trying to take his man off the dribble. Finney Smith.
Oh, good job with the footwork by Smith.
Purvis to Samuel. Shot clock winding down. The floater doesn't go, but he's going to the free throw line.
Well, Horford does a great job getting over there, just a tad late. That's what he does for this team. He thought he had established himself with a pretty good effort covering that baseline.
Terrence Samuel, 62% shooter, a true point guard out of Brooklyn, New York. Second foul on John Horford, the 6'10", 245-pound graduate student from Grand Ledge, Michigan.
Anita Bryant is back on the floor, but really hasn't touched the ball. Only 7 minutes. Not a factor. Hamilton, he had a great connection, finding one another, particularly Hamilton finding him.
First free throw of the game for UConn. Florida is 1 of 4 at the line. Samuel, the sophomore, drains the first. The countdown to 8 seconds is on. The world's top riders and rankest Bulls return to CBS Sports Network for the 2015 season of the PBR Built for Tough series tonight at 10 Eastern only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Connecticut real full court pressure and trap, but it's dangerous against a Florida team. It gives them some open opportunities, and you don't want to get them confident. And Bryant out again.
So Ollie mixing and matching here. Facey will play in the middle. Now we see Sam Cassell Jr. in for the first time for UConn.
That's a familiar name.
I've heard that name before.
What if he's got the humor of the day?
I'm sure it's in there.
Sam the man.
I guarantee you, Sam is watching right now.
Great company, talented player. Got that ring in Houston a few years ago. Nice slip. He does that great Smith.
Finney Smith unable to finish, but he is going back to the free throw line. Facey was the last line of defense for UConn.
And playing small, you alluded to that. Connecticut trying to match up. Not easy for a guy like Brima. And Boatwright right back up going in the game. He's a gamer. You want to sit out.
So that's the 17th foul. Florida in the bonus. Finney Smith, another transfer, came out of Virginia Tech. Athletic, hybrid forward, where Billy Donovan has used him at times in the middle at 6'8", 218 pounds. Again, searching for the right mix out there.
Well, he told both of us that way he can play Murphy at the power forward spot and Smith in the middle. A lot of tough covers when they do that. And Facey being guarded by Murphy now.
17-15 Florida. We count it down to the 9-minute mark of this first half in Gainesville. Two teams that were in the Final Four last season. UConn winning the national championship. But it's been a rocky start for both schools at the beginning of this season. Hamilton missing on the inside. And a travel called against Facey.
Well, he is in the right spot, that kid, though. What do you think, Bird? You've been watching this kid. I think he's pretty spry. Better defense, maybe challenging his shots, but it has been a little bit of a struggle ringing the bell for him. And one shot he thought he got fouled. Here he gets a little bit of a break as they trap him. I thought nice little split. Casey right there on the money.
He is yet to score. He's their leading scorer at 17.6 points per game. 0 of 3 from the field. Open look. Finney Smith off the rim. Rebound front floor. Cassell couldn't grab it. Saved by Florida. Hill. Drive and kick.
Boy, nice save by Murphy. Kept that alive.
Hill goes behind the back with the left hand. Casey Hill shifting gears.
How good was that? Casey at the back, using that lane beautifully. He understands what to do at that rim.
There's the pressure once again. They double. Boatwright needs help. Fights through it, but a turnover. Frazier, a three. A burst from Florida. They've got their largest lead. Timeout, UConn.
One thing about Florida, they turn you over. It leads to offense. Hill dominating in that lane. And oh, is this good to see? Nylon by Frazier.
Florida team that lost 4 seniors coming off a 36-3 season. They are 7-5. Billy Donovan has led this program to 20 or more wins in 16 straight seasons. Longest current streak is Kansas, 25 years in a row.
How about that? Because you probably saw him when you were at Syracuse, didn't you? And he was at Providence?
Sure. That was my stretch. They played him in the Final Four, 1987.
He was a pudgy guy in those days. No, he had lost the weight by then. But
Delray Brooks on that squad.
Unbelievable. Patino, the magic of that season. Billy Donovan learned a great deal from Rick, and a lot of the things he does are very similar.
22-15, Gators.
Nice hands.
Purvis has to go down trying to get it. Chioza tracks it down for Florida. That is 6 turnovers now for UConn. Oh, boy. That's deep. Frazier missing from the outside, out of bounds.
Extra pass. He didn't do it. Usually they're very good at it. Didn't find Hill.
7:37 to play, first half. Gators up by 7. Game summary here in Gainesville. 6 turnovers for UConn. Brian Boatwright has been held scoreless so far. Happy New Year, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery for UConn and Florida. These rosters look completely different than the teams we saw in the Final Four. A lot of youth here, and it shows a lot of the time for UConn especially.
I think they're rattled, and you think that both of these coaches were great leaders, really ran their teams, and that's what they're looking for. And that's where Boatwright has to step up now. Get the composure, post up, and maybe attack. Make them pay for this full court pressure, because right now Florida needs turnovers to score. They have been ineffective on the offensive end during the early part of the season.
22-15, the Gators in front.
There's that running jump. Dean Smith would be smiling.
Boatwright dealing with that deep thigh injury that he suffered in the loss to Temple. They fell to the Owls 57-53 in overtime on Wednesday. Not a lot of touches for Brima on the inside.
They ran that America's play where they screen the screener, but you're right. And he does have some offense down there. They got to settle down, get ball reversal, and use him. Post up.
A force, Calhoun, too strong.
Why not? He was right there. Give it to the big guy.
Chioza right down the middle. Chioza all the way.
He Chioza wrong on that.
He sure did.
That's the bigs. You got to have that baby hook. You got to be able to finish it.
And a push called against Florida, so UConn will get it. It's Murphy picking up the foul. Alex Murphy, who was in the starting lineup, the transfer from Duke. So Billy Donovan making changes here to start this one against UConn, going with his 9th different starting lineup of the season.
Because I'm of the age where I used to do the games for his dad, Jay.
That's right,
at
Boston
BC.
College.
Dr. Davis, nice little penetration. Make them pay a little bit. Go to that rim.
Omar Calhoun with a floater. Early days at the Big East. An opening for Hill, the give. Denial by Brima, and a foul with Vinny Smith going to the line.
The reach down, Bird. He was there, but certainly make the defense pay. Look over the top, turn, and then attack. You got a 3-on-1 break, and that little floater so sensible. Omar drilling it.
So Dorian Finney-Smith back to the free throw line, where he's shooting it at 48% this season. SEC's 6th man of the year last season. Causes mismatches because he could play a little 3, could play a little 4. Chioza sits. And Devin Robinson back in for Florida.
I think UB Brown's the one that started the numbers. 3, 1, 4. Everybody's either a guard or a forward during my era. Willis Reed used to talk to you quite a bit about the 2s and the 3s.
He did when he was the general manager of the Nets. Learned a great deal from him. 24-17, Florida in front. Boatwright again dealing with the pressure.
A pretty good job by Murphy keeping up with those puppies on the quickness he's on. Then he switched back.
Boatwright looking for his first points of the day. We count down to the 6-minute mark of the first half. Being watched by Hill. Samuel gets a touch, 13 to shoot.
Ryman just screening, not getting to the rim.
Boatwright, the jumper, and it goes, and a foul. Boatwright from long range, and a chance at a 4-point play.
He's not letting this boat sink. This kid is a big-time performer. He is struggling, not quite on top of his game, but anytime you can shoot it, be busy. I don't know how they forgot him, the drill, and one.
He's the catalyst for this UConn team. Hill called for his second foul. The American Athletic Conference preseason player of the year pick.
He's just gritting his teeth, by the way, running back. It's like you working with me.
Gritty doing it all day. Been doing it for years. 3-point lead for Florida. Hill using the screen out front. Hill drops it off. Easy lay-in for Chris Walker. They are trying to trigger Walker. They believe if Walker can get it going, they could be a different team.
He could be a difference maker. He's a rim protector, a guy that really has some athleticism.
Boatwright pretty. Gives it up. Facey. Rejected on the inside. Out of bounds.
I think that was Walker on cue. Interesting enough, when Grimes steps up to block a shot, two things can happen. You can get somebody finds a open spot, and this is the other end. Nice play by Walker. But the one thing about Grimes, you can get offensive rebounds because he tries to block the shot. Terrific little pass on that last sequence.
Crossover from Carter. Murphy trying to get involved offensively.
Yeah, they get a touch in that lane, don't they?
Carter, hesitation.
Pretty. Again,
it's Walker roaming the baseline.
Once again, Grimes steps up. Pretty little dish. Boy, what a counter to a guy who can block some shots.
28-21, Florida. They are 10 of 19 from the field. It's 53%.
They don't get back to him on a reset, Grimes. He's got to fight for that post position.
Boatwright over Murphy. And it's rebounded by Frazier. UConn shooting it at 40%. Robinson steps into the three.
Nice tip out, unfortunately.
Walker tapped it to the wrong team. Euro step, foul called.
And how about the hustle, getting back into that play? Devin Robinson, great effort.
Terrence Samuel draws the foul on his way to the rim. So free throws coming here for UConn. They trail Florida 28-21. 16 fouls against the Gators.
At the line, Terrence Samuel.
His first foul on Carter. 4 of UConn's next 5 games are on the road, so challenging part of the schedule. Coming up Monday on CBS, it's the first new NCIS Los Angeles of the year. Kickoff 2015 with the team you love. Monday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
Sounded off that good game against Villanova last year in the tournament. Tough kid.
I think he reminds Kevin Ollie a lot of himself. Brings toughness, works hard. It doesn't necessarily come easy to him.
No. Let's look at Ollie. Stick to it of this. That's the first time he pressed, and Sammy just gets caught. Clever play.
Yep.
By Chioza.
Chioza goaded Samuel into that a bit on the high speed and then stop dribble. So that puts Chris Chioza to the free throw line. He's got 6 points, 2 out of 2 from three-point territory. Pure point guard. Big Allen Iverson fan growing up. He's 6 foot, 160, so he's built a little like him.
He likes practice, though.
Oh, he does like practice.
I said he likes practice.
What'd you say?
Oh, goodness, what a talent. And Kevin Ollie asking him about the toughest guys he has guarded. He said when Allen came to practice, he was the hardest. But he came to practice. He said there were so many guys in the league. Every team had somebody that could blow by you like a boat right. And right now, not as effective.
Samuel on the drive. Trying to hit Brima inside. And it's knocked out of bounds. UConn will retain it.
I love that cover by Robinson. Came from the foul line down. And all that weak side help. One thing I would look for next half is to get Brima involved. Out of bounds and then in.
On the baseline, Boatwright. They had an open look underneath, but Boatwright could not stay in bounds. Turnovers, 7 of them for UConn, just 2 for Florida. We're down to 4:04 to play in this first half.
Average 12 a game, pretty solid, generally speaking, UConn.
Florida actually averages more, 13. Finney Smith off the drive, he traveled.
And that's what the big guy does. Lumen large. Got to get something at the other end. Amita Brima.
Florida's got the 6-point lead on UConn in the first half. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS rolls on. AFC wildcard action. Andy Dalton and the Bengals battle Andrew Luck and the Colts. It all begins with JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer. Special playoff edition of the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines. Dalton and Luck. Every year Dalton's been in the league, he's made the playoff. Every year Luck has been in the league, he's been in the postseason.
You'll be busy too doing your job, and right now the defensive wizardry negated for UConn. Brima in position to help, and they found lanes to find people. So now the counter will make them work at the other end, give him some opportunities.
Brima does not have a field goal attempt, and we're at the 3:52 mark of this first half. 4 rebounds for Brima, no points, no shots. Double on Boatwright. Plenty of time to work with on the shot clock. Hamilton has not been heavily involved either.
No, they really haven't been able to get any little screen. There's a little fade by him on the quick dribble exchange.
Boatwright the spin. And a reach-in foul called. It's going to send Boatwright to the free throw line.
Right now he knows he's got to step up a little bit. He'll force the issue, so you have to be sound defensively. Don't give him the small change opportunities. Get his confidence going, making some free throws.
The chemistry that he and Shabazz Napier developed through the years. And Boatwright was asked about now stepping into a leadership role. He said, hey, I've always been a leader, but I deferred based out of respect and for those that had accomplished a great deal. But this was not a role that was unfamiliar to him in his eyes.
Goes back to Kemba Walker and Shabazz.
Sure. Same deal.
We could learn a lot from that, by the way. There's always a little giving and not as much taking.
Yeah, I would think in the new year, maybe, you would rip less and praise more. Resolution.
Give it a thought, anyhow. Don't let this guy get started, though.
5 points, just 1 of 5 from the field, 2 assists for Ryan Boatwright, a terrific competitor. Misses on the second attempt. It's rebounded by Walker. We're down to 3:20 to go in this first half. 5-point lead for Florida.
They're trying to move Brima. He uses his hands quite a bit.
Carter gives it up, and a foul called on Brima, defending Finney Smith.
Kevin Ollie knew they would try and move him around. Little ball screen. Billy Donovan mentioned to both of us, keep that big guy active. Make him move around here. And you can just see his reaction. It's always the hands first, and the reach down. Kevin Ollie put his hands up in his defensive stance. Don't reach down.
Just because you win a national championship, that doesn't guarantee you a spot in the NCAA tournament the following year. In fact, when Florida won back-to-back titles, they didn't make the tournament the year after the second championship. Florida's now 5 of 11 at the free throw line.
Don't push under one.
How much guarantees in life?
No. And reloading in college basketball is hard to do.
Particularly with the goings and comings. Guys leaving and finding a home someplace else.
Both of these teams have dropped out of the RPI top 100. Florida's got a 30-24 lead. Foul called, a touch foul out front as Hamilton was making his move.
Carter with that little small change reach in. That gives him a chance with the clock stopped. Again, you get these good guys. John Pelfrey was coached at Arkansas, I believe. He great pals from the Kentucky days.
Hamilton 1-1. Freshman out of St. John Bosco, youngest of 6 children. Played 2 years at Crenshaw High School. Sticks the first free throw.
Alma mater of
Stevie Thompson.
Kevin Ollie.
That's right, Darryl Strawberry, yes.
Well, that's baseball.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm shifting sports now.
I'm one-dimensional.
You're right. That is Kevin Ollie's alma mater, coming out of L.A. to UConn, and Hamilton felt very comfortable with Ollie. And the fact that he had gone through similar experiences. 7 points for the freshman Hamilton. Talented swingman, 6'7".
I see that 2-2-1 hit Calhoun used to do that and back up. It just caused them to use some block and work. Nice cut. Curves.
Under 3 minutes to play. Oh, there's the length of Hamilton, creating havoc. Hamilton gives it up.
Tough pass. Tough catch.
And a tie-up.
Chiosa, and how about the feistiness of the little guy with going there.
You had 6'10" and 6 foot.
A little trouble with the bounce here, and then unsure. He thought he was going to take that shot, but that's catchable, though.
So possession arrow in favor of UConn. They'll retain it with 31 on the shot clock. They trail 30-26.
Ooh, I thought he should have taken that.
He'll take that one, a 3.
Not bad. The second choice, better.
Ryan Boatwright, who shoots it at 36% from three-point range. The drive to the rim. Alex Murphy. His brother Eric was a standout for Florida.
A push off. They got it. They got the right one. He extended the arm.
It's Boatwright.
He thought he got hit prior to that, and then the frustration venting. But boy, I love Murphy. He's got to play with a clear head. I think there's a lot more in his ability. And right there, you can see the first one, and there's the second. How about that? Easy call, really. Chiosa.
The officials huddling up right now. They've sent both teams to their respective benches.
I think they want to look and see if it was of a malicious nature.
I think that's what the discussion is with Ron Groover, Don Daly, and Michael Roberts.
And you fight harder over the check than that. That's just a good old-fashioned basketball. Nah, I don't think you even have to look. But again, just to make sure.
Ken officials heading over to the monitor.
I think Ken Mack and our truck will be providing the looks here, and there's the excessive contact. That can't be anything. Do you agree?
I agree. I don't think there's anything there.
As you get touched hard in the subway.
3 days ago. So they're checking on the Boatwright Chiosa collision with Boatwright pushing off with the offhand.
It's funny. Carl Hobbs is sneaking a peek over there. They're just chasing him back.
Well, for Ryan Boatwright, question as to whether or not he would play because of a bruised left thigh. He was limited to 17 minutes, just 2 points in the loss to Temple. He's got 8 points here this afternoon. He's averaging more than 35 minutes per game. Went through a light workout, did not practice this week, but worked out on the side in preparation for this game. Yeah, Kevin Ollie came out and said, look, if he's 50%, we're not going to play him, but we're going to take what we hear from the medical staff. We're going to talk to him and then make a decision. It seemed like a pretty easy decision when he came out for warm-ups.
Now, Bird, I agree with you, too, but why take this long to look at that play? Obviously, they don't have a flight. You know, I mean, it's like that's an easy play.
And they're still huddled up.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
There's nothing flagrant about the play.
I'm going to sell space on the back of their shirts, I think. Some advertising. But, I mean, there is a push-off, but that's just a basketball play.
As a coach, were you just frustrated because of the flow of the game? I know they didn't have it back in your day coaching.
They didn't have replay.
Yeah, but if they would take some time aside from the game and huddle up, and it breaks the rhythm of the game.
If they get something right.
Sure.
You know, but if it's incidental, and they're still looking at this play.
There was no call on the first collision, and then it was the second one.
Boy, I hate to see something violent happen. Well, they're going to explain it to us. Now I've got to be nice, by the way. Take my.
All right, Bill. Bill's taking the headset off. He's going to get the word. 32-29. Good job, Billy. Well done.
Offensive foul on Boatwright.
Okay, that's been confirmed.
That's what we had. A lot of people went for lunch during that little break.
2:21 to play in this first half. 3-point lead for Florida. Chioza handles it against Boatwright. Out front, Jacob Kurtz.
They did love having a nice double. That's that squeeze box play they ran last year quite a bit.
Frazier the shovel inside. Finney Smith creating space on the spin.
Boy, he really stuck with that. That was a tough handle in the lane. Big on the ball and look at the trap.
They get it ahead. Trying to push it. Pull up pop. Hamilton.
Nice play.
Flying in. Kurtz throws his body around, and it's out of bounds off of UConn.
And that's what they love about this kid. Boy, he just leaves it all out there.
He earned a spot on the team in October of 2011. It's something Billy Donovan told us before the game. Of all the players on his team, he's the guy, he knows what he's going to get from him every single game.
And, you know, it's tough on a coaching staff when you are unsure of people and what they're going to contribute. That's what seems to have taken place early in the season here.
Outside, Murphy. High pass handled by Frazier. We're down to 1:38 left, first half. Murphy, quick move to the rim. He missed it. Long rebound, pushed by Purvis. Purvis driving to the hoop. He's fouled.
He is good going to that rim, though. Should have put it in the left hand and made it, though. Exposed the ball on the right side. Some toughness in this guy. The full court push, you can just see there, gets away from his left hand. Not really comfortable pushing that dribble. He should have had a layup with the left.
67% shooter. Sat out last season after the move from NC State. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Seth Davis, and a little class joining the group. Swin Cash scores and highlights from the day's early action. Villanova undefeated, looking to improve to 14-0. Coming up on AT&T at the half.
You've just wiped out two people.
They're friends. They're cohorts.
They were.
They were friends. They're still friends. Florida started 2 of 8 from the field. They've hit on 10 of their last 15.
Well, they make you think. 2 doubles out there. Pretty aggressive stance here by UConn. Getting down late.
Shot clock is down to 11. Chioza. Rimming, no. Slapped out of there. UConn is running. Breakaway possibility. To the rim. It's Purvis.
That's what happens when you go to the rim and nobody protects, or you take a corner jump shot and you're the lead guard.
Out of 45 seconds left, Billy Donovan indicates the play to Chioza.
There's a high-low yo-yo.
The jumper. Frazier from deep. Michael Frazier the second.
They feel he's been shooting it too flat. That was flat, but boy, drilled it.
UConn is in no hurry here. Shot clock is turned off. We're down to 22 seconds left in the first half. 6-point lead for Florida.
They're just going to let him play. He likes to get a late ball screen. And this is where you got to stay home and try not to overhelp. They look at the gap D now. Chioza, and they just switch it up now.
5 seconds left. Boatwright flips it to the corner. Purvis fires the triple off the mark. And that's how the half will end. Chioza full court try.
Pretty smart defensive scheme there. A little wrinkle late. Confused.
Florida shoots 52%. In the first half, we've hit the break in Gainesville, 37-31. The Gators leading the Huskies into the first half. Right now, let's go to my good friend Adam Zucker in New York. CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. The Quicksilver Card from Capital One. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Getting ready for second half action here in Gainesville, 37-31. The Gators leading the Huskies. Welcome back courtside, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Bill Raftery. The non-conference portion of the schedule is coming to an end. And yeah, this is one of those games where it could be a boost for the winner, and for the team that falls, it might continue this spiral.
Psychologically speaking,
yes,
it's very important. It gives them a lot of confidence. And, you know, early on, I didn't think we'd have many points, but, you know, Ryan Boatwright struggled, you know, not as quick or penetrating as we're accustomed, but then he got himself a little bit active, got to the free throw line, and nobody detects as he gets a chance for 3 and 1. So healthy, and hopefully he'll be ready to go. But the one thing, this led to a Connecticut timeout. A little burst, pressure, get those puppies organized. Frazier for 3, for 2.
Billy, let's take a look at the Coca-Cola first half stats. 13 field goals for Florida, 11 assists for UConn, 8 turnovers. Gators took advantage of that with 10 points. Neither team shot it particularly well from three-point territory.
Now, that was key, I think, the defensive pressure. But right now, stretching him, Ryan, that is, seeing if he can get himself going a little bit. You know, a lot of times you want to attack the press, which is fine, but I would attempt to attack the press, get it back to him, and then I think he can ignite some things, and also not getting anything out of Brima. So let's see if they make that adjustment. Kevin Ollie looking on. I'm sure a little bit puzzled about their offense as well.
When these two teams met in the Final Four, they were combined 66-9. Already at this point, early January, they have 10 losses combined. So completely different seasons for these two programs.
You're so negative.
No, just facts.
Just facts. I know.
Nuggets,
leave them alone. A quick pin down and an errant toss.
Frazier missing from the outside. Offensive rebound for Florida. Finney Smith, he's who got Florida started in the first half.
Ooh, shoot it. You hear that whistle. Now that's where Brima is very good. Off the ball, he was ready to negate that opportunity by Finney Smith.
And it's Facey called for his second foul.
His first team foul, the second half.
So Florida will have it on the side. Casey Hill, the trigger man. Nope, they'll have it on the baseline. Get it in for Finney Smith, just underway. Second half in Gainesville. Open look, Finney Smith.
Boy, that was not contested aggressively.
It is the largest lead of the day for Florida.
Timeout.
Timeout taken by Boatwright, who was in trouble on the floor. And gets helped up by both teams. 44 seconds into this second half, and Florida has opened up a 9-point advantage. Florida 40, UConn 31 as we check out the AT&T fast analysis, Billy.
It's interesting, the ability to penetrate and create some havoc, drive, draw, and find. And, of course, with Brima there, he is a force to be reckoned with. And so his step up and a nice slip to the goal, Walker. That's just pretty basketball. That's typical Florida basketball, complemented by their ability generally to make threes. And that's been the puzzle, and leading to some gray locks, I might add. Not quite like mine, but
their last 5 games, defensively, they have taken it up a notch, holding their opponents to 35% shooting. UConn so far is at 42%. Boatwright off the double. Ball movement leads to Hamilton.
Boy, great coverage.
Scraping at the ball. Hamilton comes up short.
I think that messed him up a little bit too, Bert.
Hill rushes it up the floor. Trying to bring the lead to double digits now for the Gators.
And you got to be able to defend ball screens when you play this team. Look, like a ton of them in one set.
Frazier in and out. Rebound kept alive by Finney Smith, but controlled by UConn.
Nice job, too, by Facey. Oh, that wasn't meant for him, I don't think. It was meant for Hamilton in the corner.
Purvis had it go right through the hands of Facey. Chioza getting the start here today for Florida.
Well, taking advantage of it, too. A feisty, competitive kid. There's Hill, the curl to the rim. Pretty
Nice. Casey Hill going hard to the hole. Might have been shaken up on the play.
He does that great with that left hand. Can extend it even a little further for a baby hook.
It's a 42-31 lead for the Gators. Boatwright. It's caught by Brima. Casey was also going for it. He falls down on the baseline, but a tie-up was called prior. And a possession arrow to UConn. It's an 8-0 run for Florida, bridging the first and second half.
How about this little change of speed and putting it into high gear? The blue by a little guy. With it, you could not beat speed.
Hamilton lobs it in. 15 to shoot. Boatwright. Nice help there by Walker.
Brima is still not a presence on the block, and he has a little game in there. There he is. Give it to him.
Shot clock is down to 4. Stripped to the ball. Calhoun loses it. Frazier on the run. Frazier angles in for the deuce.
All because you don't pass it to the post. Put it on the deck, put your head down, and you can just see the body language by Ryan Boatwright in front of us. Discussed it at their play, and probably at his inability to really get by. Prime is there, he's got a guy on his back. They end up with a turnover, and as you noted, the open floor. Frazier with the blow-by.
That is 10 turnovers now for UConn, and Florida with 14 points off of those giveaways. Hamilton brings it across.
Now run your offense. There you go.
These offensive sets have not been crisp for UConn.
When guys have been free, the ball's been on the floor. There's a lock low.
Hamilton goes to the other side. Pump fake by Facey. And it won't count. Foul was called before the move by Facey.
Have you felt they've been in a hurry all game? We'll get back to that, Bert.
You know what's in a hurry? The CBS Sports app. You download it. It's the fastest app for sports fans. Updates for UConn, Florida, and all teams. Download the CBS Sports app right now.
Wasn't it quick early and back to that again?
They were out of sorts early, then finally calmed down a bit. But generating offense has been a challenge for them. And just getting clean looks.
Primer's got to really do a better job holding his position.
Boatwright directing traffic. 16:45 to play in this second half. They've smothered Boatwright.
Look at all the help on him. You're right.
Calhoun almost lost it.
Primer just staying on the other side. Get to the ball.
Boatwright. Corner pop. Calhoun a 3. They needed it.
Boy, they were really grasping and gasping.
Omar Calhoun was just 2 of 9 from three-point territory entering action today.
That was the other side of Clyde Frazier coming out there. Grasping and gasping.
Oh, I got you. Down goes Frazier.
Yeah.
Ball goes out of bounds, so UConn gets it back.
Let's see if they can get one back-to-back here.
10-point lead for Florida. And Sam Cassell Jr. back on the floor for UConn. Boatwright to the rim. UConn is looking for a call. Here comes Frazier the other way. Finney Smith. Find the open man. Frazier, one dribble and a jumper.
What a rearrangement.
The follow goes. Second and third chance opportunities for the Gators.
I thought Walker didn't convert it, but was that pretty? Gather and try to complete.
Florida up by 12. Just about 5 minutes gone by. Second half here in Gainesville.
There's a little slice cut and pin down.
Calhoun can't go back-to-back. Rebounded by Brima. But he's not looking to go back up.
No. And, you know, he was free, and they took the jumper again in the corner. I'm not saying he's a great offensive player, but he has little hooks. They've worked on his turnaround jumper. Here's the pin. Now get your guy.
Foul called out front. Brima still does not have a field goal attempt here today. It's UConn and Florida. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Bill, we have some breaking news.
Yes.
You, my friend, have been selected to the Hall of Fame the National Sportscasters and Sports Writers Association down in Salisbury, North Carolina. Bill Raftery, we offer you our congratulations. That is wonderful news and well-deserved, my friend. Did you know? Am I breaking the news to you?
Well, somewhat. Somebody mentioned it yesterday, but I was told to keep quiet.
Well, I was told to go with it. Congratulations.
Well, that's very nice. I guess they ran out of people to put in, basically.
They did. That's what happened. But the ceremony will take place in early June, and I look forward to it.
So nice.
And I have a feeling the party could go late.
I guess I've started sending packages down already.
You've booked a 2-week stay down there just to recover.
You know, the one thing I would say, I owe it all to Dave Gavitt. He said, you know what, I watched you coach. Try broadcasting. God bless him.
He was a man with vision, wasn't he?
He could see things. But
3 fouls on Hill, 3 fouls on Horford. So some foul trouble here for Florida. Maybe an opening for UConn. They trail by 12. Giveaway. Boatwright is fouled.
Now that's that gap defense that Florida has been working on, and it's really bottled up Boatwright. Very fortunate to get the call on that particular dribble drive. Turn them one way, and there's somebody reaching in, and I think they did get a piece.
That is 3 now on Eli Carter for Florida. So team fouls, 4 of them against the Gators. Calhoun triggers in. Rima comes in averaging 12.2 points per game.
And he has a little trouble with size, you know, but yet they don't do it.
Calhoun, the pull-up pop.
That was a good play. No question. Defense gambled. They to pay.
UConn cuts it to 10. Calhoun has come off the bench to score 5. Make that 9. He averages 5.
Now, this is where UConn has to really step up defensively. Florida can get a nice job. Florida can do some things. They are limited, I should say, in some of their offense. And there's a case in point. Over penetration. Frazier known for a shot. They forced him to put it on the deck. Good trip.
46-36. Billy Donovan's team in front. A lot of time left. 14-11 to play in this second half. Cassell will sit for UConn. Another player that has yet to get it going for the Huskies is Rodney Purvis, who really was expected to shoulder a lot of the load offensively this season.
A lot of people have not stepped up, other than this kid on a consistent basis, Boatwright.
Purvis is on the bench. It's Boatwright, Samuel, Hamilton, Calhoun, and Brima for UConn. Samuel looking down low. Boatwright against Chiosa.
Double nice penetration in the hand. They got it in. I think Chiosa is the guy.
Florida is getting frustrated. So are the fans here at the O'Connell Center.
To reach in from the back and got a piece, but that's what he does. Boatwright gets in the lane, really decimates your defense, forces people to gamble, step up. And they're giving him 2 shots, 2 bird.
Foul was called on Chiosa. Boatwright's an 82% shooter. He's 2 of 3 from the line. Chance to crack double figures. He's got 8 points. Back to single digits now. And a timeout called. Billy Donovan is sharing his opinion rather vociferously to the officiating crew. Well, Billy Donovan is still voicing his displeasure at the calls we've seen work against the Gators.
It's amazing when you watch different guys, their techniques and all. We pick it up. A lot of the crowd didn't, but the competitiveness coming out on him. He had started a while ago on those dribble drives. He thought they were clean swipes.
He said to the officials the fouls are 6-1, which they are. He's on top of the numbers. Boatwright with his second attempt.
Now, do you think they'll change?
You tell me. I mean, coaches,
how it works.
Coaches plant seeds all the time.
Well, I think they were fouls that were called. I can't say they were bad. There were reach-ins at all. But if it's a foul, obviously you're going to call it. But 6-1, I don't think there's been an inconsistency.
Horford out front. UConn has cut it to 8.
They really spread the floor, ball movement, good pull-up.
Eli Carter can't convert. UConn chipping away here against Florida. The killer crossover, Boatwright slammed down. It was on the cylinder. Brima will not get credit for it. It's waved off.
And that's where he is tough. Penetration by the little guy. Just anything from the rim up. Unbelievable, huh? This kid's going to get better and better, but today he has not been a factor that he should be.
So he still officially has no attempts. We're at the 13-10 mark of the second half, 46-38. Casey Hill has been a difference maker here for Florida.
Using Brima to move around. Murphy appears very active. One-man zone in there.
Finney Smith, kick out, Robinson a three.
Nice find. Both in the recruiting with Robinson, but his pass, terrific.
Evan Robinson connects from long range. He came in shooting 24% from three-point territory. Florida is now 7 of 18 from downtown as a team.
They're very positive about that. See if he can do some damage. A nice double.
Boatwright against Kurtz. Fancy ball handling. Boatwright splits defenders but can't finish.
He's starting to pick it up, though. I like his attack.
Hill sizing up Hamilton. Just about 8 minutes gone by, second half.
So they move Brima around. That's key. So if you do get some drive, he's not going to be at home.
Carter the curl. 14 to shoot. Hill one-on-one with Samuel. High screen. Kurtz on a kick. Carter fires. Rims out on a three ball.
Brima really looses a one-man zone in the back.
Hamilton.
Nice
off the
cut.
spin. Find Brima on a rack attack and a foul.
Boy, they are connected, these two. Hamilton and Brima, and they find one another, but the big fella finally ringing the bell. Big time. Send it in. I mean that.
CBS Sports College Basketball coverage is sponsored by Verizon. Get more this holiday season with the best end-of-season deals on great tech gifts. Sonic's new boneless chicken wings. And by Buick. 5 expectation-shattering models. Another reason to experience the new Buick. Back in Gainesville, start of 2015 for Florida and UConn, 49-40. The Gators leading the Huskies. 11:37 to play in this second half. 17 fouls now against Florida, just 1 against UConn, and it will be Brima going to the free throw line, a chance at a three-point play.
Not a bad free throw shooter, by the way. You're throwing accolades and bouquets. You and Bruce Beck were named the New York sports writers, or sports announcers, I said, broadcast of the year. So congratulations to you.
Well, that's the rumor.
Well, is that supposed to be known?
Yeah, that's nothing official.
You
This is all
deserve it.
information coming out next week. Thanks, Billy.
When you grow up, you're going to be something.
One day, I
That's terrific, though.
just have to mature. 8-point lead for Florida.
Don't worry about that.
Brima's one of the co-captains of this team, so that shows you what his teammates think of him as just a sophomore, along with Boatwright, the senior.
I mean, he's very vocal. I mean, he's talking in the back, but he's going to get a lot better. Comes out a little late on the cover, but that's what they want to do.
Finney Smith nails the three. 15 for Dorian Finney-Smith.
The backcourt, a little pressure. Calls the timeout.
UConn gets the timeout with 11:01 to play. Florida shooting 40% from long range. Thursday on CBS, it's a new year, and Sherlock Holmes and Watson are back with 7 all-new episodes in a row. Don't miss a new Elementary. That's Thursday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
And Bert, that pressure by Florida, I think that's the 3rd timeout. Once on an inbounds, twice in the backcourt. And they're down to 1 timeout left with 11 to go.
Florida has really shared the ball well, 14 assists. UConn has just 13 field goals.
Bring the ball down to the corner and pass it.
There's Boatwright on the outside. Shot clock is down to 10. Being defended by Hill. Calhoun, kick out. Boatwright a three. Short. Comes up with his own rebound. Needs some help. Calhoun will fire. Yes, a three.
Does that help? And what a presence of mind by number 11 to find.
12 points for Omar Calhoun. It's 52-44. Gators. Robinson offers it up. It's an air ball. Out of bounds.
Once again, the pressure now. You got to be ready. You don't want to waste another timeout. So look ahead and step to the ball.
UConn has Boatwright, Samuel, Calhoun, Facey, and Brima, the five on the floor. Hot hand, off the mark. Facey, the rebound, but it's going the other way. A push.
I think on him. A little Tavern League discard.
So it will be Kenton Facey picking up his third foul. 10:07 to play. Second half. Florida has Finney Smith, Hill, Walker, Robinson, and Frazier, the five on the floor. Just the second team foul against UConn.
So watch for Walker to get some offensive rebound. If Bryman looks to block a shot.
Hill circles. Finney Smith puts it on the deck.
Walker moving to keep Brima.
Robinson on a kick. Frazier off the zigzag. Blocking foul.
Good call, too. Nice read, penetration. You get that angle.
Foul on Calhoun. That's number 2 on the junior from Brooklyn, New York.
Florida basketball.
Florida retains it. Decision as to whether or not that was a shooting foul.
I think it's on the floor, don't you?
I do.
Hit them one up.
Chioza will check in. He replaces Robinson. So they replace Small with a bigger player heading to the bench.
A little hold, I think, on Boatwright.
It is Boatwright before the ball was triggered, and now UConn's fouls beginning to pile up.
You think Billy reached him? He fouled. I mean, sometimes that happens.
Coincidental? Frazier, nice find. Walker, big fake. Brima didn't bite.
Now, this is where he can get to the rim now.
Clear it for Hill. Set things up in the half court. Hill, the drive.
Nice activity. Frazier presents that passing lane.
Timer is down to 12. Hill reorganizes. Kick out. Finney Smith blocked by Brima. Foul called. Samuel took the hit.
Why foul, though? When you think of it, you got the big fella just waiting, salivating. Tremendous presence as he steps over there. Samuel trying to do the right thing, but boy, when you've got him around, you just don't want to foul. If you're not sure you're not going to get there, let it go.
That is the 15th foul now against UConn. Dorian Finney-Smith has 15.
He struggles from that free throw line, doesn't he?
48% on the season for the junior from Portsmouth, Virginia. Florida recruited him out of high school. He elected to go to Virginia Tech and then transferred after his freshman season when he made the ACC all-freshman team. Florida's shooting just 50% of the free throw line here today.
Well, they had a perfect trap there, Bert. I'm surprised Finney-Smith didn't read it. Now they do it.
Boatwright will get it across. Facey nearly turned it over. Under 9 minutes to play.
Bird, you have to be nice in your recruiting because you never know the kids might come back.
Good point.
You know, leave them with a good taste.
9 to shoot. Samuel flicks it out for Calhoun.
That's a little too far for him.
Brima turns short. Rebound kept alive. UConn's got it.
They got open look for Samuel.
Samuel doesn't take it. Now he drives in. Oh, sneaky play by Terrence Samuel to bank it in.
He's a confident kid, though. Very aggressive.
Frazier takes the angle. Cut off there by Boatwright. Clear it for Hill. It's a 7-point game. Hill, denial. Brima closes quickly. Calhoun gets it ahead. Boatwright being defended by Frazier on the perimeter. Love it. Brima, no good.
He's got that shot, though.
Chioza is fouled in the backcourt by Samuel.
Bryman really tired at half court, bending over, and grabbing in the leg of his pants.
That is number 3 on Samuel. Rodney Purvis will check in. 16th foul against UConn, and now Calhoun will get a breather as well, with Hamilton taking the floor for UConn. Eli Carter back in with John Horford for Florida.
That's part of getting better is being in shape, and I'm not suggesting Bryman's not in shape, but it is demanding for a big guy. The pace, the up and down, his presence defensively, getting stronger. Essential as well.
Alex Murphy returns for the Gators.
Pretty
nice look. Denial by Bryma. John Horford got gum. Hamilton, a spin on Chioza. Hamilton, 2-man game with Boatwright. Now they include another, and it's a corner pop. Rodney Purvis drains the 3.
And nothing silly. All the challenges were met defensively, and then the ball movement, extraordinary.
53-49 Gators. It's an 11-4 run for UConn. Pull-up jumper, Eli Carter comes up short. Bryma there for the rebound. There's Boatwright.
They should keep using Horford in ball screens because he can make that 10, 12, 15-footer. Billy says he can make the 3, too.
Hamilton a long 2. He drains it. Daniel Hamilton from the outside. Florida's lead is down to 2. 7-0 run for the Huskies.
How about that? Patience, delivery, nylon. Setting up some pretty good offense. Hamilton as well.
UConn has come roaring back. Florida has never trailed today. They've got a 53-51 lead against the Huskies.
How about the patience of Kevin Ollie with his team? Hanging tough, not playing well. All of a sudden, ball movement, better decisions, and the old compliment, making shots. Simple, but essential.
Florida started the second half on a 7-0 run, led by 13. UConn has now gone on an extended 20-9 run to cut it to 2. Under 7 minutes to play. Horford, that's a 3. Short. UConn with a chance to tie or take the lead, depending on shot selection. Boatwright, the spin, contact, offensive foul on Boatwright.
Well, it is dangerous when you turn your back. I don't know if that was enough to knock him over, but he goes against them.
You got a little fluffage?
A little bit. Well, you said gum before, but right now there's no sticky of the ball. Florida known for passing the basketball. 4 different guys able to ring the bell. That was Samuel, the open jumper Purvis, and now we're going to see Hamilton. And all of a sudden, a hop in their step, a lot more confidence. They stick him with it, and I think it all started with defense. And, of course, the bench.
UConn is 6 of 13 from three-point territory. The bench, 22 points from reserves. So UConn is at 46% from three-point range and a 7-0 run over the last minute 51. On the season, UConn comes in shooting just 30% for three-pointers.
Right now, Florida going small.
In their 5 losses, they've shot 22% from three-point territory. They're 6-5 entering action here today. Florida's got a 2-point lead on UConn with 6:24 to go. Frazier, defended by Hamilton.
All of a sudden, they lift Bryman. He's staying low because Kerr's not a guy that's going to really bang the deep one.
Frazier,
forget about it.
Rejected by Bryma. Knocked out of bounds from behind by Hill.
How about the effort by Hill? But right there, a little slip pass would have worked. Kerr's on the angle. You draw the big guy. Ooh, just give it up with the left. But what a presence. Negating. They give it a run out.
And again, UConn with a chance to tie or take the lead. Under 6 minutes to play. Purvis out front. Get it to Boatwright. They double him. Clears for Purvis. 17 to shoot.
Bryman Primus screening a lot more. Cross screens should give him some opportunities in the low box area. They just don't have the timing down to get it.
Shot clock is down to 5. Hamilton swings it. Purvis fires the 3. Purvis nails it from long range. UConn has got its first lead of the day.
The corner and top, and Chiosa, and not quite the size to negate.
It's a 10-0 run for the Huskies. Who's going to step forward for Florida? Chiosa gives up his dribble. Hill, the pull-up jumper. Rainbow delivery doesn't go. Offensive board for Frazier. And a reset for the Gators.
Well, Finney Smith does a nice job screening and slipping.
Hill using the screen from Kurtz. Finney Smith off the window, comes off the rim. Kurtz, offensive board.
And that's when Brima leaves, you can do that.
Florida shot 52% in the first half. They're shooting 32% in the second half. Frazier the ball fake. Hamilton leans on him. Chiosa stripped to the ball. UConn takes over on the turnover.
Was that Boatwright, I think? Got a piece of it? And that forced jump hook was because of Brima on Finney Smith. Amazing factor he is.
There's Boatwright. High screen facing. They stick with Boatwright. 15 to shoot. We're down to 8 on the timer. UConn up by 1. Boatwright. The pull-up jumper. He knew he missed it. Out of bounds off of Florida with 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
A pretty good defense there. Don't foul. Blow by on the right side. Really force the shot. Look for the lob.
Only 2 seconds to work with here. Hamilton will toss it in.
Let's prime his screen and get to the rim. He's not going to the rim, though.
Hamilton lobs it up. And Brima couldn't break free. Chiosa going the other way. Met by Boatwright. Chiosa gives it up. Kurtz doesn't go, but a foul.
Yeah, they did it before Brima came down, and Brima, I thought, got fouled at the other end. Very fortunate Florida to get that opportunity.
Florida has missed its last 7 shots from the field. Free throws when we come back. Wednesday on CBS, Anna Faris and Allison Janney host the People's Choice Awards live Wednesday at 9, 8 Central, only CBS.
Gers with a chance to knock down a couple. 62% for the year.
Pair of free throws for Jacob Kurtz. Misses on the first. Now has a chance to tie at the 3:51 mark. Florida is 7 of 15 at the free throw line. The Gators as a team shooting it at 67%. He gets the roll. That ends a 10-0 run.
Well, you got to be ready now for the pressure. Don't forget UConn with only 1 timeout. You got to get it over the timeline. Here's the trap and the rotation. Nice look deep.
Hamilton swings it. Run on the diagonal feed for Hamilton. We're down to 3:35 to play in a tie game in Gainesville. They spread it. Boatwright to Purvis, a 3.
Got it.
Bottom. You called it, Billy.
Woo, dead on. Boy, is that a welcome.
Third 3 for Rodney Purvis, who came in shooting 36% from long range. He's got 11 and a 3-point lead for UConn.
Calhoun, so important to this team, I think, as they go on. Thinking of March, this game, monumental, I think, for both programs.
Here's Murphy on the curl to the rim.
Nice big
Kurtz
side.
is there to clean it up for Florida.
That's what happens when Brima goes. You got to get yourself in that weak side position. Heading play.
It's a 1-point UConn lead. Rematch of the Final Four. And Hamilton, the freshman, turns it over. Steps on the sideline.
It is painful. But Kurtz, a kid you mentioned, had that tough game, stepping on that sideline. Easy call for the official.
The inexperience for UConn, having lost Shabazz Napier and DeAndre Daniels and Niels Giffey. Lasan Chroma was a valuable role player for UConn. Florida can go back in front here. We've got 2:37 to play. Hill using the screen, works his way in.
Nice rebound.
Walker trying to save it. He's out of bounds.
I love the effort, though. Came from nowhere, but once again, the presence of Brima. You can twist and contort, but you still got to beat him.
2.5 minutes left on the clock. 57-56. Huskies leading the Gators. Into the hands of Boatwright, their senior, their leader. Double team. Purvis helps. They break the pressure and now settle in.
Horn set to a double.
Purvis on the outside, 12 to shoot. Watched by Murphy. Hamilton drives off the window, off the mark. Shot clock doesn't reset. Does Brima know it? Kick out. Shot clock's down to 1. Boatwright throws it up too late. Lack of recognition from UConn.
And Brima had his back to it, but certainly Boatwright had to have some vision on it, but the pass was so errant. Never really concentrated on the shot clock.
And the 15th Husky turnover. 57-56 UConn as Samuel will check back in. Hamilton will take a seat.
Matching up small, a lot of pressure.
We are under 2 minutes to play from the O'Connell Center.
Finney Smith is one of those guys, I think he can get a shot. He keeps active, likes the screen slip. Got some size right here if he wants to elevate.
Walker working around the perimeter for Murphy. Shot clock is down to 13. Murphy on a bounce for Finney Smith. 9 to shoot. Down to 1:26 to play. Hill makes his move on a cross. Hill the drive, left hand no. Rebound controlled by Brima.
You're not going to get that. You got to make a quicker decision and kick. That's 2 in a row. Presence.
UConn with a 1-point lead and possession. We will hit the 1-minute mark of this second half. Boatwright way outside, 10 to shoot.
Empty side, ball screen.
Boatwright the drive. Kick out. Purvis, he's been hot. Off the back of the iron, and it's rebounded by Hill. Florida on the push up the floor. 45 seconds left. Finney Smith the 3. Doesn't go. Rebound ricochets. Loose on the floor. Scooped up by Florida. Murphy denied on the inside, and a foul. Should have been UConn ball. They couldn't squeeze it.
Well, they did call it, Bird. You are right. Oh, terrific hustle right here. This is a great. Who wants it more? How about that? Frazier with the fine and Murph going up strong.
Same team. Samuel battling with his own teammate Boatwright for the loose ball. And the third foul on Brima sends Alex Murphy to the free throw line. Murphy had to sit and wait after the transfer from Duke. He is 6 of 9 on the season. Now 6 of 10.
83%. Because of Boatwright on the floor, they've gone a long way without the use of that timeout. UConn.
For those of you who want to see the Maryland-Nebraska women's game, you can watch it live right now at cbssports.com. Second attempt, big one for Alex Murphy. Looking for the tie. 38.1 left on the clock. Murphy. Off the rim. UConn's got it. And Florida's got a foul.
Yeah, they do. Got to give it.
And they foul Boatwright, who's an 82% shooter.
Yeah, you love your point guard who can make those free throws at crunch time.
Florida shooting 44% at the free throw line here today. They trail UConn by 1. Ryan Boatwright at the free throw line when we come back. 32.4 left on the clock. UConn 57, Florida 56. The Gators came out hot to start the second half, extended the lead to 13, and then UConn able to chip away some timely three-pointers from Calhoun, from Rodney Purvis. And Ryan Boatwright, who is not 100%, dealing with a thigh bruise, is at the free throw line with his team up by 1.
And don't forget Brima's presence on the other end. They had to make shots. They couldn't get anything around the rim. Dominating the big fella.
Boatwright is 4 of 5 at the line. Perfect.
Gutsy kid.
11 points, 6 assists for Boatwright. UConn shooting it at 80% as a team. One of the best free throw shooting teams in college basketball last year when they won the national title. He drains a pair.
Now the big thing now, Bird, I go for 2 real quick. Extend the game. You don't need the 3. And you may get it because of the ability to get in the lane and find somebody, but I would attack as much as you can. A mid-range game important because of Brima.
59-56 UConn. Finney Smith gives up his dribble. We're down to 22 seconds left. Hill, the pass inside. Walker is fouled by Brima.
Nice penetration. That's what you have to. He steps up, find somebody. Good job by Walker. And not a good free throw shooter either. What, 47?
Right in that range. Chris Walker is at the line. 20.4 left on the clock.
Chris Walker.
A sophomore from Bonifay, Florida. Chris Walker.
Big-time recruit when he came here, 2013 McDonald's. Still learning the game.
All right, here we go for 2. First one.
So Walker with key free throws. His team down by 3. Doesn't get it to go. Murphy missed on a pair. Walker misses on his first attempt.
We're going with a little defense now. Some speed. Frazier and Chioza on the floor.
Samuel comes back in for UConn. Second attempt for Walker. Trying to cut it to 2. Rims out.
And they give it.
Purvis hands it to Boatwright. Florida not looking to foul.
No.
15 seconds left. Get it ahead for Samuel. There's the foul, and Samuel's a 62% shooter. Maybe the idea was they did not want to foul Boatwright and force him to get rid of it.
And the other end on it might be also like give it one passing gamble, maybe get a trap and a steal. But a lot of wasted time.
And Billy Donovan's going to use a timeout. 12.8 on the clock. Terrence Samuel to the free throw line when we return. Game reset here in Gainesville. UConn has 1 timeout remaining. Florida has the possession arrow. UConn's got free throws from Terrence Samuel, who is 4 of 4 today, and a 3-point lead with 12.8 on the clock.
You mentioned Boatwright, too. You don't want to foul him because he shoots them so well. This is you noted, a terrific free throw shooting team. I like their patience. They didn't play great. They came out of the gate sluggish because Boatwright was not on top of his game. You know, feeling his way in as his leg progressed. And now you're checking Florida out there, dependent on the free throws to push. I still think you go right to the rim. You may have to end up 4-3 if he makes these.
UConn was 78% at the line last season. That was good for 4th in the country. They're down this year 71%.
Samuel at 62%. A gritty game for UConn. It wasn't pretty.
Up next, they will be at South Florida on Tuesday night. Terrence Samuel at the stripe. Still a 1-possession game. Samuel nails the first.
Big.
4-point lead for the Huskies. Daniel Hamilton will check in, replacing Brima, who's got 4 fouls.
Probably thinking 3, you know, better coverage.
Second attempt for Samuel. 6 of 6 on the day for the sophomore. 10 seconds left.
To the rim. The big guy's not in there.
Fine. Have to work quicker than that. The jumper, Finney Smith knocks down the 3. 61-59. And a foul given in the backcourt with 3.2 on the clock. And UConn is in the double bonus with Boatwright.
Quick knockdown off penetration. They should have done a little more of that, not challenged, particularly Hill, Brima. Quicker, earlier decisions.
UConn beat Florida at the buzzer during the regular season last year. December the 2nd, 65-64 on a Shabazz Napier buzzer beater in Stores. Then backed it up with a win in the Final Four over the Gators, advancing to the national championship game, defeating Kentucky. Boatwright hits on the first. It's a 62-59 lead for UConn. Boatwright is 7 of 8 at the line. And here's the big one now to see whether or not the Gators will have one last breath.
Yeah, that's what the old timers, you can't make free throws, used to offend them, and UConn right now down the stretch.
Boatwright. He's got it. 3 seconds left. UConn perfect at the line in the second half. Chioza misses at the horn. UConn comes into Gainesville, and they beat the Gators again. 63-59 the final. For Bill Raftery and the rest of our crew, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from Gainesville. UConn wins it over Florida. Coming up next, women's basketball. Maryland meets Nebraska. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2015 Men's National Championship.